Coming from a man who's trying to convince their wife to be a stay-at-home mom, I want her to quit working. We finally got to that point financially to where the money that she makes really does no good for her. I would much rather have her home to where she can help me make more money, making my meals, cleaning the house, handling all the grocery shopping. The kids are both of our jobs. I'm still bathing, cooking, doing school drop-offs and pickups, doctor's appointments, all those things for my kids. But I need my wife home to help make my life easier so I can make us more money. Now I fight and I do content. In the past, we've had to do the dual income thing because life be life and life is hard without two incomes in the household. But I don't like to drop how much I make, but I make enough to where she really doesn't have to work. Her working is honestly hindering me making more. And it's really not a stability issue. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I fight. I make money on all those different areas. And I understand why she doesn't want to, because she was raised to always bring something to the table. That's how her parents raised her. She's a college accounting professor and an accountant herself. Her mother owns multiple businesses, and she's been working since she was like 16 years old. So I get not wanting to have to depend on a man, but you're not depending on me. We're in this together. You're just making, look, I'm paying you.
So additional context, that video kind of rubbed a lot of women the wrong way because they were saying to him largely in the comments, and that he actually created a follow-up video saying, why wouldn't she want to be a stay-at-home mother or whatever, so on and so forth. But it kind of created a little bit of controversy because the women was like, yo, she told you no. And then the other people was like, yo, you are I guess he's a amateur boxer or he a low-level boxer and he's a content creator. And they were saying, well, maybe you don't make enough money or whatever. And so it was a lot of theories and a lot of conversations based off of, whether she should or she shouldn't, or she said no, and why you ain't taking her word for her and why you still kind of trying to convince her. I want to get y'all thoughts, and I kind of want to get y'all sentiment on why a woman would not want to be a stay-at-home mother. What could be the causes? What could be the situations that women today, in today's time, would not want to be a stay-at-home mother? Anybody can jump in.
I think maybe a woman don't want to be solely dependent on a man. I had a conversation with a chick the other day about most women they have to have some kind of exit plan. If they're what does that look like? When you're in a relationship with a dude and you got an exit plan, what does that look like? Where's the money coming from? Are you stashing money away that he's giving you, or what does that look like? But I can kind of see how your whole everything is in this man. If he leaves me, now what type of thing? I can understand that.
Anybody else? I'm not gonna y'all can just jump in as y'all see fit. I'm just kind of winging it on Friday, so anybody can jump in as whenever they want to.
Nika, did you want to go?
I can go after you. Go ahead.
Oh, I think just because of the decades long of programming of women making their own money and being more independent, and a lot of women don't see how it could benefit them, I guess, being a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home wife, even if you don't have children. Like a lot of even like a lot of women that I know worked at a early age. I had my first job at 15, so I can see how some women could just get used to just working and working and working. And to Quentin's point, it does put you in a vulnerable position when you no longer have your income or what you're used to, and you are relying on him. So some women would have an exit plan, I guess, because what if he can't handle it at some point? I think it's just a trust thing too with their man.
Should women have let me do a follow-up question for that. Should women have an exit plan just in case something happens?
I always think yes.
It would probably be the equivalent to a prenup, that mindset, I love you, but I still need to think past the love and the feelings just in case some shit hit the fan. But what does that look like? If a dude's bankrolling your life, what does your exit plan look like? There's a better question. What? You need some money. Where the money come from?
That's a good question.
You skimming off the bottom of that nigga sleep. What you type of thing?
It would depend on her situation, I think. If she has kids or no. Is she far from her family? Is she close to her family? I think it would look different.
Yeah.
Should a woman require, and let me ask an additional question before you jump in, Mika and Slimmy. Should a woman require a certain thing from a man or a certain criteria, a certain set of rules or whatever prior to her actually becoming a stay at home mother? Because a stay at home wife, I'm not going to say stay at home wife, because a stay at home wife, I think that that's a completely different dynamic than a stay at home mother, right? Because a stay at home mother, you got an additional kids depending on you, all of that stuff. Why wouldn't a woman want to be a stay at home mother? A. And then B, if she decides to, should she put a certain criteria on it before she agrees to do so if her husband is asking her for that?
When you say a certain criteria on it, what do you mean?
Should he make a certain amount of money? Should he be in a certain career? It could be, should he guarantee you something if any, if y'all decide to break up? Or it could be the opposite way. It could be, okay, she just trusts his judgment. It could be anything. Should there be any level of criteria or requirement if a man decides that he wants you to be a stay-at-home mother? Or if you decide to have children, do you require, you know, should you still be able to work? I want to know what y'all thoughts are around that whole conversation.
I think I think people should start having certain conversations before they get into certain parts of the relationship. Like I don't want to I don't think somebody finding out, I don't know, down the road that you want your wife to stay at home um should be a thing, right? So that like it's similar to when you talk about um getting the woman for where you're going, right? So you should already know this, right? So you should already know, hey, I'm trying to do this now. If it don't pan out, don't pan out. But you should already know this, right? So yeah, I'm gonna eventually need you to stay at home. I'm gonna eventually, need you because he said they were doing 50-50, right? Or something when she was working. But he should have, and maybe he did, I don't know them, but I would think that you would talk about that ahead of time and say, hey, yeah, eventually I'm gonna need you to stay at home. So there's no back and forth. Like you knew this up front. And I think that alleviates all of that. But on the other hand, with the criteria, I don't um I don't really have a thought on if you leave because I honestly and truly I don't think about relationships from that point.
What point do you think
So
about?
now if you die, now that's another thing. Like I'm into the life insurances and all of that being I'm I'm into all that, the trust.
Why you slap your head?
She said I'm
Because
into
he's
life
because
insurance.
he's a baby daddy.
What does that have to do with
You
anything?
don't believe in life insurance, Quentin? If like for the protection, just in case?
In the protection of the woman in case I leave? Like
No, in case you
If you
pass.
die.
it
Let's
just
say some wild
it's
accident.
giving gold digger that I'm in the
No,
life
it's
insurance.
given I want to put you in something that's not a pine box.
Wait. Quentin, you don't believe that that you should have life insurance just in case anything happens to you if you got a stay-at-home wife?
I have 2 life insurance policies and I'm a baby daddy, so
No,
Exactly.
what I'm
That's
saying.
why I said it. Yeah, the whole baby daddy.
Uh, okay.
no,
Because
it's just
you know,
just the way it came out. It's like I'm into life insurance. Like it just came out like
yeah, because what I'm saying is, okay,
it's giving gold digger.
no, what would have gave Gold Digger if I would have said, yeah, I have it set up so when I want to leave you, this, that, and the third. I said I don't even have a contingency plan for that because I don't think about relationships from that standpoint because I don't plan on leaving something I committed to.
Why does the chat say Anton be playing dumb? What am I playing dumb about by asking a question?
And
Do they want me to be a villain every day or something?
I think that's too I think that's where the society is, right? Like y'all are too quick to be like, yeah, this is not working. This is not working. This is why most of y'all businesses fail. This is
Who's
why most
y'all?
meaning the general public. because you don't like me to say most, So I'm going to use y'all.
Slimmy, what are your thoughts on why a woman would not feel comfortable with being a stay-at-home mother? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't understand why she wouldn't. Like once you get to that point, like you're financially sound. So I feel like what Mika said was actually right though. Like, why aren't you having conversations to about this already? You should already have had conversations like this. It shouldn't be sprung on anyone. Whereas it's like a debate or it's new. Like this is a conversation you have way early on. I think you probably should have conversations like this before you're even married. Like, because why wouldn't you want to be a stay-at-home mom once you get to a certain financial plateau? Once you get there, like we want these kids to be taken care of a certain way. We don't necessarily want them around too many outside influences where they at daycare and like whatever type of I can't think of nothing else. But daycare, we don't want kids around, we want them to be taught in the home. So I don't see what the problem is with being a stay-at-home mother, but I guess this is where the new modern woman kind of like takes over. And I think this might be a problem because we talking about exit plans and goofy type shit. Like, why the fuck would you have an exit plan if you're married? Why would you even be thinking about that? Why is that crossing your mind? I'm so unfamiliar with this type of shit. Like, we sit up here every week and we talking about, commitment and why people should be committed and keeping your family together and family over everything. But in the back of someone's mind, they got an exit plan. This is totally against family because you're trying to abort the plan just in case something don't go your way.
That's what a prenup is, pretty much, is an exit plan.
No, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
No, that's not what that is.
Then
That is to
what is
protect
it?
you. That is to protect you against someone who might become disgruntled and wants to use the court system against you. An exit plan doesn't have anything to do with the courts. What are we talking about?
Semantics.
I don't.
You're
I don't.
That's not semantics, my nigga.
Tomato. That's semantics.
That's not. No, you're not about to do that, bro.
It's
We're not about
literally
to. You're not about to. You're not about to talk about Quentin. You are talking about legal penalties. You are comparing legal penalties to someone saying in their mind.
There's no penalties. There's no
Bro,
penalties.
you're talking about legal penalties.
What penalties?
And someone saying like, "Yo, I might have to slip out the back door." How is that the same?
What penalties are there in divorce?
How is that the same?
What penalties? Since you're using words that matter, what penalties are there in divorce?
What do you mean with legal? Man, we just heard about Amon Shumpert. What are you talking about?
That's not a
Some
penalty.
women leave with half. Some
That's
women leave with more than they ever had.
That's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Sorry, it's not.
So you're going to play naive?
It's not a penalty.
So you're going to play naive?
That's
not a penalty? That's not a penalty that a man loses. That a man can lose some of his wealth. He can lose some of his house. He can lose some of his homes. He can lose some of his cars. He don't necessarily get custody of his kids. Are you mad?
Nope.
Are you mad?
A penalty is imposed for breaking law, rule, or a contract. That's what a penalty is.
Marriage is a contract.
You just
said
that he lost his
You're
house.
toast. You're toast.
What did he break?
Stand down. Stand down and be quiet.
What did he break? What did he break?
Stand down.
You left, not him.
Stand down.
You broke the contract, not him. What's the penalty? You said Amon Shumpert got the penalty, not her.
No, you broke the contract. That was just an example. That was an example.
Said that Amon Shumpert had a penalty level against him.
We're not talking about no specific couple, Quinn,
or any rules.
You getting cooked right now, bro. Just stand down.
What penalty did Amon Shumpert break?
He broke the I guess their cheating clause.
He didn't get any penalty. He didn't. It's the same thing. Exit plan, fucking beforehand, one's after the fact.
No,
Same thing.
no,
Same thing.
you're
Same
completely
thing.
wrong.
A prenup is an
No,
exit plan. A prenup
no,
is an exit plan. Yes,
no, no,
it
it's
is.
not. No,
Yes,
it's
it
not. It's a
fucking is.
protection plan.
Done.
It's a protection plan, Quentin.
Fucking
It's a
Hakuna
protection
Matata,
plan.
tomato,
Stop.
tomato, nigga. A fucking
No,
prenup
no,
is
you
an exit
wrong.
plan.
You wrong. You
I'm
wrong,
signing this
bro.
prenup just in case I got to exit later. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, 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 no. Because you might not even be the one that triggers everything. It might be the woman that triggers this. It ain't necessarily the man. And if you go to the stats, it's more women that actually file for divorce more than men. So you wrong. You wrong. You're completely wrong. Sign off, my nigga. You lost this round.
Why would you say that when I'm already gone? That don't even make no sense.
Because I want you to sign off completely.
Just because you're
Completely
yelling at her
leave.
don't mean you're
Leave
don't mean you're right.
completely.
Fucking anybody
No,
would say outside of you
quit.
trying to be right that
No,
a
no, no. I'm
prenup
not
is
trying
an
to be
exit
right.
plan. A
I'm not
prenup is
trying
in place
anything.
just in case the people exit the relationship.
I'm not trying anything. I am right. You
No,
wrong,
you're
bro.
not. No, you're not.
I am right.
Okay,
I am right.
okay.
Because
Okay, I gave up. You're
a
right.
prenup
Sammy.
is a
You're
protection
ready.
plan.
It's an
It's a
X.
protection against any legal
It's a
action taken
protective
against you
fucking plan
after
just in
you
case you exit the relationship.
after your contract is dissolved. It's a protection plan.
Like I said, semantics. I don't think you
It's
probably
not
know what that
semantics.
means. Yes, it
You
is.
talking an
Yes,
exit
semantics.
plan? An
It's
exit
semantics.
plan is a woman still in her
Semantics.
relation.
Semantics.
You gotta stop
Semantics.
talking though. You gotta stop
Semantics.
talking and let me land.
Semantics.
You gotta
Google
stop
what
talking and let me
semantics means.
land.
It's semantics.
You gotta stop talking and let me land.
Semantics.
So an exit plan is a woman in her mind saying that I'm gonna get a way out and I'm gonna start saving up money. That's probably his. That's probably his. And I'm gonna use this just in case things don't go the way that I think they
So
are.
an exit plan is gender
That's
specific.
totally different, bro.
Got it.
That's
Exit plan
totally
is gender
different.
specific.
That means you 1 foot in and 1 foot out. That's two totally different things,
No,
bro.
it's not. No, it's not.
Because in order for a prenup to happen, you gotta agree, both parties. A man might not even know about the exit plan.
It's still
You're
an
wrong.
exit plan.
You are wrong, bro.
You are fucking signing information just in case you have to exit this marriage before it starts. Prenup.
You got it.
I know I got it. I always got it.
You took a L. But it ain't no point in keep hashing this out, bro.
You sound like a girl when you say that. I ain't gonna argue after you argue. I ain't gonna argue with you after you just argued.
I said there's no point in hashing this out any further. You wrong, man.
So y'all don't think that I'm sorry?
It's semantics.
Y'all don't think that a woman should have I don't want to say guarantees, but somewhat of a way in which she'll be okay if y'all decided to end the marriage or if anything was to ever happen to the man?
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think that comes with your life plans, and like that's another thing and another reason why I brought up the life insurances, because that comes with planning your actual life. And life insurances can also be used for tons of other different things, and trust and building wealth and all types of other stuff. It's not just anyway. What I'm saying is, you should have a whole life plan. You should plan the person that you're getting married to. So to not know, a lot of these people are just lying. They're just picking people. They're not actually picking actual good I'm not gonna say partners. They're not actually picking good people to spend their life with. They're just picking whoever they like at the moment.
All right. Anything else on this one?
Semantics. 10 points, Quentin. 0, Slimmy.
Read the chat.
The chat can suck my dick. you yell at the chat every day. You hate them niggas.
I don't hate nobody. You go using that word again.
what if the guy decides that he wants to leave because it just doesn't serve him
It
anymore?
doesn't matter. Slimmy just made it gender specific.
Well, this is a completely different question.
Okay.
If the guy decides that he doesn't want to leave or he doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore, does that should a woman get more? Right? Should there be specific clauses in whatever agreement that y'all come to, or whether it's a prenuptial agreement or whatever, that if he decides that he doesn't want to be involved anymore, then the woman should get a different amount versus if the woman decides that it doesn't serve her anymore? Should there be a difference for a woman that then 100% depends on the man for her well-being, like a stay-at-home mother?
Yeah, I think there should be, because if this person is solely dependent on you, especially if it's to your benefit, then they're dependent on you and the family structure. Now, if you don't want to be there anymore, that's perfectly fine, because you don't want somebody staying where they don't want to be. But you can't just then say, well, figure it out, because we talked about it and we agreed this is what I would do. So in order, and that's the only time I actually agree with spousal support, when it's somebody like that, because now they have to actually go out and build something outside of this family, and they haven't been doing it for most of those times when it's like that for years.
That's why I think women should stash some money away. He might leave you. You might be pregnant, can't work. He dip out.
Wait. No, we're not doing that, Molly.
I know somebody it's happened to. He went to an entirely different state. He had to find them. She
Molly.
had to track down credit cards.
Molly, you said he
Men
might be
leave too.
pregnant. You
Oh,
said
did I say
he.
he might be pregnant? She might be pregnant. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay, my bad. I thought you was on some trash.
That
My
was a
bad.
mistake. No,
That's my fault. That's my fault. I was about to
I don't
say,
know.
wait a
I think
minute.
it. I think it depends on people's situations, but I think women been having exit plans way longer than you think. Women that you probably wouldn't consider to be modern, Slimmy, they probably had an exit plan just because the man didn't know.
Did they
Lots of
activate it though?
ladies,
They didn't activate that shit
lots
because
of
they knew it was
ladies kept money in a
consequences.
coffee can. That's all I'm gonna say.
Molly,
Divorces are not new.
why do you think that men get upset at you when you say have money stashed away or money in a coffee can or something like that? Why do you think people
Oh,
get bothered at that?
it's just too sensitive. I don't know. I don't know why they would be upset at anybody doing what's best for them at the end of the day. Because a lot of men can be irresponsible and irresponsible in relationships. This is not anything new. And I think this is why women are got on the path to being so independent and working anyway, because a lot of men probably were not dependable. A lot of men have gambling problems, drinking problems, all different types of issues. So nobody's a monolith.
I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but a lot of the times, the problems that I've seen in other people's relationships, it was the same problems that were there in the beginning, and
Mm,
it just got worse.
mm.
Well,
So you
to my
saying
friend's
that?
example, I don't know. It seemingly seemed like he kind of just disappeared to an extent. It could be things that she didn't tell me that was their relationship, but
Mhm.
from the outside looking in, it kind of looked like, and they already had kids together before she was pregnant. So she couldn't find him for months.
Like, okay, but like I think men just switching like that is very rare. Like
A lot of
usually
men switch up when a woman is
you
pregnant,
know that
though.
type of like I'll see girls with a certain type of man, and then maybe when they get with her, they're not acting a certain way, but they're acting, and eventually it's going to come right back to what he normally is. So
Well,
just be
they had already had two children like prior to that who were at a decent age. So this did seemingly come out of nowhere because they had never, as long as I had known them, it was just out of the norm for him. But so I don't know. People go, and then we're living in a different time with technology. People's trust issues are crazy. So I don't think people have it. I think more people are one foot in, one foot out than people want to admit.
And see, and that's
We
the
just dating and marrying in a different time where we kind of don't really need each other in the same way we did when people were first getting married for survival reasons.
but no, I think you do. I think you do. Like today I went to get something to eat at this little bar restaurant thing, and there were people there like on a date, and they weren't talking to each other.
That's
But
Because
they,
crazy,
they're
man.
not friends, Mika. They're not
That
friends.
shit gotta stop.
exactly, exactly, precisely,
That shit gotta
precisely.
stop, man. I can't be in no presence of nobody and we
So
got all that sort of
I'm
shit.
just like, then what are you doing? But
I mean,
they'll keep going out on dates, and then they'll probably get together, and then they'll probably keep going along with it. They'll probably move in, then they'll probably maybe eventually 10 or so years later get married. Like it's it's just a I'm gonna go along with it.
but and the dating culture is different. People are doing online dating. You got things like pop the balloon. So people are just getting together just to get
But
together. So I don't
but
think people are, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's
I
what I'm
think we
saying.
need to kind of change the dating standards back to normal.
Man, what you
But
mean?
What you
You
wait?
married? You don't get this.
I'm just, it's
You
a
don't get to change
culture just
nothing.
because dating
Your
What?
ass in
sites,
the
not
house.
saying they don't work, but I'm old fashioned. I like to meet people in person.
Well,
People don't
no,
talk in person no
you
more.
gotta meet. Come on now.
People don't talk in person no more.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, I do.
Okay, okay.
Shit. Well,
When
like,
we went to the
People
meetup,
have to talk to me in person because I'm not on socials.
everybody was talking.
yeah, like,
Everybody was talking.
yeah,
I rarely saw, except for when we were taking pictures. I rarely saw phones.
yeah. But I'm talking about like man to woman approaching.
But
You
that,
They
don't
but
don't
see
look even
that.
the
You don't
same
see
no
that
more.
from the younger
because
generation.
it has to be an environment that they want to be in. Like I'm using the meetup to say that everybody in that environment wanted to be there. They wanted
Yeah.
to be community.
They want to be what?
They wanted to talk.
Okay. I didn't hear what you said.
Just keep on going. Yo, that shit sounded crazy to me too.
I said they said what they got to hear what she
Oh,
said.
you
Why
didn't
does
hear what
that
I
sound
said. Oh,
question?
okay.
Oh, I thought you was I thought you was trying to blow down on it. But I think that's a different scenario though, Mika. Because if you look at them younger generations, man, they ain't talking. They ain't talking. Like, but if you like our generation, that's what we grew up doing.
These were no, the people that I saw today had to be well in their 40s.
That's fucked up. Then they relationship fucked
And
up.
they were just like
Yeah, they relationship fucked up though.
people on double dates, not just I was like, what is going on here? Why is nobody talking?
And they probably on social media.
Yeah, they probably sitting there in their phones. That's weird.
That's crazy.
All right. Well,
Oh,
go ahead, Slimmy. What you about to say?
I was about to say, as far as like the woman goes, though, that like the stay at home mom, where that's being supported by that man, they gotta have some kind of plan for her though. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to support her in some type of way. And she don't have nothing. She don't have nothing. It is only right, man.
It
That ain't
doesn't have to
no
be forever either.
no. That's what
It
I'm
Yeah.
just
saying.
has to be
It gotta be a
a way for her
timetable.
to get her back on
Yeah,
her
it
feet.
gotta be a timetable, man. Maybe like a year. You know what I'm saying? Or some so she can get on her feet. And then they gotta plan the kids like the right way so everything works out. That still got it gotta be preparation for that too. So I say about a year, you know, he gotta he gonna have to like help that woman out,
Donald
man.
Trump had that built into his marriage contracts.
That's the shit that Anton be talking about too. You know what I'm saying? If you want to slide,
He was like,
you
when
know what I'm
they
saying?
leave, they
Or
get this set amount, so you'll
I
be
got
good.
you. This is what we gonna work out. Boom, boom, boom. You over here.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing. You're not getting deflowered. What's the word? Is that
Mhm. I think it's normalized within most cultures and other cultures, especially cultures where they tend to look at marriage not only from a love perspective, but from a business perspective. I think it's kind of normalized to also have a prenuptial agreement so that they can actually kind of focus more. The sentiment is this: if you have everything hammered out as far as like what would happen if anything happens, then people are free to, be more about the relationship and to focus more on the things that you're building towards when they have that security under them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if people are kind of have a duress mindset or they always struggling a lot of times, they tend to make worse decisions or they tend to spend more of their time trying to figure out how to get out of survival mode or how to not be trapped versus, if everything is kind of out of the way to where you don't have to worry about the finances of things, then you can start focusing more on what the build is for the relationship. So I can see it both ways. I can see it both ways. I think that if when people are more secure as far as they live in situation or anything like that, and they don't have to worry about that other stuff, that they tend to be a lot more comfortable in the relationship, not look to leave it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Once
So
you all locked in and you ain't got to worry about all the extra shit,
yeah,
you can just focus on building.
But why do people operate in fear in relationships? Like I've never understood that.
I
Like
think that
everything is from a
You
fear.
don't know how to be in a relationship.
I think that men want to be in relationships. They fear the possibility of divorce. I've heard guys, even on coaching calls, say the worst thing that has ever happened to them that's drained them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially is a divorce. And so they fear the possibility of going through that. And so they kind of proactively not do it. You know what I'm saying? They'll figure out how to get around. And it's kind of like traveling, right? If somebody has a fear of flying, then they'll figure out all of the ways around it. They'll drive 14 hours. They'll not go to certain events. They'll stay home, all of that stuff instead of, you know what I'm saying, actually jumping on that flight, you know? And if they fear it because they've seen other people have an accident in it, then I think that it's going to lend more to, protection and precaution. They don't want to see themselves in that situation where they suffer. So
Oh, do we just normalize a baby mama culture? Because people are still gonna have sex.
I think that the conversation around having children is probably should be a much bigger conversation versus a conversation about marriage because I think that you're making a much bigger financial commitment, emotional commitment, dedication to the person, having to be tied to them regardless of whether you like them or not. I think that that is a much more impactful situation to have a child with a person than it is to get married with them. Even if you get married, you can make a clean sweep, but you can't get away clean on anything when you have a child with them. So